Good Friday morning, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and welcome to Real Talk. This is an insider's guide to real estate, life, and the pursuit of happiness on the I Love CVille Network. The show airs Tuesdays and Fridays at 10:15 a.m. It's a dynamic program. You can contribute your perspective in the comment section, and we will not only relay your perspective on air, but you can literally help shape the discussion with our guests. And Keith Smith has two really big-time guests on today's edition of Real Talk. Judah Wickhauer is our director. Let's go to the distinguished gentleman and welcome Keith Smith from the studio camera first. Judah, Michael Guthrie on the show, the chief executive officer of Roy Wheeler Realty Company. That's a big-time show when a guy like Michael Guthrie comes on. We have not only Merg and Michael Guthrie, but we have Jamie Nowak as well.
I'm excited about today's show. If you could see past the mask,
and the sweat beads,
it's the cameras. It's the
lights.
It's the lights, man.
Yeah.
We'll get there. So hey, a real quick shout out. Thank you to Beth Hyder. Right, I walked into the studio this morning, and this awesome mask was sitting on my spot right here. So Beth, kudos to you. Thank you so much.
She reached out to us via Facebook.
Really?
And said we had a special surprise for the distinguished gentleman.
Wow, thank you.
Can we leave this here? What's a good time to come by?
Wow.
I think she saw the last show, your fabulous looking mask. It was fabulous. It was slipping a little bit. So she felt she wanted to give you something that was, and it looks good, right?
Beth, God bless you. We must have communicated.
Right? You match.
We totally match. Right? Even the socks, man.
Right. And it's got is that a USA motif?
That's exactly what it is.
It looks good.
There you go.
Tell us about the show.
Yeah. So we're going to introduce Michael Guthrie here in a few minutes. And today is, for me, a big emotional show. Those who have watched the show in the past know a little bit about Yonna and I's story. Back in the Great Real Estate Depression, we lost $17 million, everything that we had. Cash, we didn't lose what was important, which is each other. And there's three things that really got us from there to here. And there's many other folks that helped us, but three big real pillars. One was our faith in God and my wife and I in each other. The second is Mr. Guthrie. And the third is Brian Buffini and Jamie and their team over there. They really helped us do that. I would not be sitting here doing this show if it wasn't for Jamie. Ooh. She threw out an idea about 2 years ago at an event I attended, and I just took it and ran with it. So, and of course, you're a big part of our
I love it. Can you put Buffini and company in perspective for those outside of the game?
So I'm going to let Michael do that.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to let Mike.
It's big time.
This is big time. This is the largest real estate coaching company in the United States. And we'll let Jamie share a little bit more about that, but I believe the world, actually, but we'll let her chime in on that.
So, Michael, we'll reach out to you in about 10 seconds. I'll get the Chief Executive Officer of Roy Wheeler Realty Company on the line here on Real Talk. In the meantime, how about a little bit of love for Marie Bett?
Yeah, so I picked up my cup of coffee. Can't wait for the show's over, so I go in the corner and have another sip of it. But they're doing great. I just talked to the guys over there, and business is back humming, so that's great.
That's good. Michael Guthrie is on the line, Judah Wickhauer. If we can get a thumbs up from you, sir, to welcome the CEO of Roy Wheeler to the program, that would mean a lot to us. We are getting that heads up from Judah. Michael, hello, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
How you living?
I'm living. Actually, it's funny you'd ask me that question. I just saw an amazing video yesterday. Folks should Google it, what you can learn from a third grade dropout.
Ooh.
And it's a phenomenal commencement address. I don't know who he was talking to, but the guy talks about his dad, who was a third grade dropout, and the lessons that he taught him. And one of the things he taught him all the time was to ask that question, how are you living?
Well, welcome to the show. Keith is super excited. I'm going to get out of the way because he wants you to introduce not only the guests, but Buffini and company and what we have in store. For the folks outside the game, this is a big time guest here, Michael. Oh,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Jamie is amazing, and the Buffini and company organization is phenomenal. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning.
I'm happy to talk about it and help in whatever way I can.
But I think before you do that, can we show that little picture we had?
Yeah, I love the picture, Michael. You have great hair. I love the hair, Michael. My favorite comment on this
Look
post,
at that.
Michael.
Look at that.
My favorite comment, and we got the photo on screen. My favorite comment was one of your agents. I think it was Matt Neese. And Matt Neese, he says, besides the photo being black or white, I can't see a change in Michael Guthrie at all.
Yeah, the big nose has not changed at all.
You look sharp, dude.
Thank you.
Well, you have a Roman nose, right?
I got a
It
big
roams
nose.
all over your
I had a
face.
big nose already, but was in a car accident right before graduation of high school and broke my nose and got it all fixed up. But then first year at UVA, Jerry will know this, down in the Dell, took a back of an elbow on a forehand going up for a rebound, and it never was the same after that. I should have gotten it operated on, but
It adds character.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I meant what I said on the intro of the show. There's three things. Yonna and I's faith in God and each other. You were instrumental with us coming back, and then the guests that you're about ready to introduce. So can you just tell us a little bit about Jamie and before we bring her on?
Yeah, so let me go back even farther than that. I had the privilege, as you guys know, I've been in the business a long time, 1982, and I had the privilege of being involved with Brian Buffini when he was literally starting out. He'd been a realtor in San Diego. His story is phenomenal. Came over from Ireland with nothing, and then got going, and then was in a bad motorcycle accident, and literally lost everything, and now, as you said earlier, runs the largest real estate coaching and training program in the country, and has tremendous, not just with real estate, but mortgage brokers and other type of businesses. And we just met, and we had the same sort of ideas in regards to really doing this business with a servant heart, really caring for the people that you care for the most, and out of that, being able to build your business on people referring business to you because they were grateful for the way that you helped them, whether it was in a transaction or not, and becoming, as you say on the show all the time, you and Yonna talk about all the time, being the trusted advisor, the trusted resource, and so I engaged with Brian. From the outset, along with a guy by the name of Rick DeLuca, who used to work with Brian Buffini a little bit as well, in regards to managers versus agents. And when I came to Roy Wheeler in 2005, one of the two things I did is, one, I got us into the leading real estate companies of the world network, and I said to this company to be involved with you. And so I went out to San Diego and became a mentor coach, got certified, and our guest Jamie had just joined Buffini and Company just about a year or so before that, and she was sitting in on the class that I was in, and so we got to know each other, developed a relationship, and now she has become a friend. She's become somebody that has asked me in to be on her broker advisory council, or the Buffini and Company broker advisory council, which I consider an incredible privilege, and I just think she's going to knock it out of the park. She's going to talk about life. She's going to talk about real estate. She's going to give us perspective on things nationwide, but also remind us that real estate is local. And she's just a phenomenal human being who's dealing with stuff just like the rest of us in this pandemic, that she's still shut in California. Husband, couple kids, and Keith, you and I got to see her younger guy yesterday. And anyway, it's a privilege. I'm grateful that you gave me the opportunity to talk a little bit about Buffini and Company, and I'll let her do the rest.
So before we do that, I want to jump backwards for a second. Leading real estate of the world, right?
Yep.
There's some folks on here that may not be real estate agents or in the game. This is a big thing, right? This allows us to sell almost anywhere. Would you mind just talking about that for a minute?
Yeah, I think it's a really, really good thing for those of you that are involved or want to be involved with Keith and Yonna. It doesn't have to just be here. It can be anywhere in the country, and quite honestly, anywhere in the world. Leading Real Estate Companies of the World is a large independent broker network. It's not a franchise. It was created to take the significant players in each marketplace that are independent. They're not a franchise type of organization, and give folks an opportunity to network together, but also to know that when somebody wants to move to Albuquerque, New Mexico, we can refer those people and trust those people in Albuquerque because they're the same type of folks that we are. They want to do business the same way. I know John Updike's watching the show. We just did a referral through leading real estate company of the world, Colonial Heights, Virginia, not that far away, but John reached out to me over the weekend. I knew a guy that I had referred business to down in that marketplace. And again, the example is we trusted him enough. And he said, I don't do that area, but I'll find somebody for you. And so John's client, I think even this weekend, is going to be looking at property in Colonial Heights with somebody that we referred them to. Plus, they have, speaking of Buffini Company and their training program, the leading real estate companies of the world have a Leading RE Institute, which is one of the top 5 training programs in the country in any realm, not just real estate, but in any realm. They've been in that top 5 now for the last few years. And so it gives me, as the broker of our company, not only the opportunity to train the way I do, which we do all the time, but also to offer this incredible resource to our folks of nationwide, nationally renowned real estate trainers that we can log in and listen to it at any point in time. Our company pays for that, so the agents can go in there at no expense and upgrade themselves, including continuing ed and all those kind of things.
So I recently, I think it was last year, we had somebody from Malaysia come in, and we bought a condo in Charlottesville. So, hey, Michael, thank you very much. I'm going to hand you back over to Jerry, who's going to introduce Jamie. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for coming on, and love that hair, man.
Michael, you're a good man.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Jerry.
We really appreciate you. You have a good weekend.
I will. You guys too, and I'm looking forward to listening to Jamie. And I'll, as usual, I'll put a few little choice comments in.
Please do, Michael. We enjoy them. Thanks, you have a good one, dude.
All right, you guys take care.
Love that guy, Michael Guthrie, CEO, Roy Wheeler Realty Company. Judah, I'm going to reach out to Jamie now, giving you a heads up. I'm really looking forward to this.
You know, Michael was alluding to it. We actually had a pre-Zoom call yesterday, and you know, I think we scheduled it for 30 minutes. I think we went to 45 minutes. A lot of that might be me not shutting up, but
he likes to talk, Jamie.
I like to talk, and you know, at the end of it, I said, we just did the show, you know that. This is the show, so
we have
looking forward
Jamie
to it.
on the line.
Yeah.
From San Diego.
That's right.
She's live in San Diego, guys, on the West Coast right now. Now, Jamie, you are live on the on Real Talk here. It's 10:30 or so East Coast time, and you have 5 different states watching. I count 6 or 7 different firms watching the program here. Before we go down the road and start talking shop, let's get out of your way and introduce yourself personally. Before we talk shop, you as a woman, what are you all about?
Wow. Honestly, I'm all about helping people. I want to be an encourager. I want to shine a light. I want to connect, show people care, provide value. And I have an amazing opportunity to do that every single day with the great organization that I work for, and the amazing and tremendous members that we have all over the world. So it's, it's a humbling deal. And I'm excited about it every single day.
I love it. This is going to be a great interview, Jamie.
Hey,
Hi,
Jamie. Thank you for getting up super early. And look how fresh and
7:30 your time, Jamie.
7:30. I believe that she was up long before 7:30.
I was up long before 7:30, but I am honored to be here with you guys today. I appreciate you having me on.
So Jerry started talking a little bit about you personally, you know, and what I said in my opening statement or opening monologue or whatever we're calling it, I truly meant it. You, Brian, really done wonders with Yonna and I getting from zero to what I think is a successful business. And I said in the beginning of it, I actually watched one of these videos that you did about a year and a half ago. Well, no, 2 years ago, was this going out having a cup of coffee and these scripts. And I went like, look, I can do this. And I met Jerry, and the next thing you know, we're having a year and a half worth of shows and a bunch of folks going on there. So if we could start off real quick, there's a bunch of real estate agents that may know what Buffini and Company is about, but there's a lot of folks that don't. So could you just tell a little bit about what you guys do, and then we'll just jump off from there.
Absolutely. Well, Buffini and Company is the largest training and coaching organization in North America. And our goal is to impact and improve the lives of people. And we do that every single day on every single phone call, where we help people pretty much get out of their own way, right? Get focused and clear on the goals that they have for their business and their life. And then we have our systems that work together to help them get to that place. And we give very specific direction, but it's based on your personal goals and dreams and the desires of your heart. And our system is one that's all about investing in relationships and providing excellent customer service and continuing to grow and build our skills so that we can be world-class professionals out there in a marketplace that needs somebody that they can trust and rely on when we're talking about their largest investment, which is, usually their primary residence or other investment properties. So in a nutshell, we coach people and help them get to higher and higher levels.
And you do it in such a way that it's just loving, right? It's we talk about servant heart and trusted advisors. It's in such a way that you just feel loved after it. And, so I thank you for all that you guys have done for us. So, largest in North America, right? We've been talking COVID-19. We've been talking where the market's going.
Shop.
Let's talk a little shop.
Yeah,
he wants to go to shop.
Jerry's ready to get
I'm a businessman.
Now, in our pre-show, did I tell you about the Batman and Robin thing? So this is kind. Now it's coming. It's coming clear. Let's go.
Yeah, come on.
Slow down, Robin.
Give him a question.
I am giving him a question. So the big question is, how do you see the market going? Right?
Oh my gosh.
That's a big one.
Keith, come on, babe. It's unbelievable out there. I was on the phone in Iowa yesterday. I've been on the phone all over Canada. I've been on the phone all over this country. And in most places, when we went into this pandemic, by the way, I just send out, I pray that everybody's healthy and well before we get into the business opportunity here. But when we went into this pandemic in February, we had one of the greatest months on record for real estate. We had low inventory, low interest rates, and things were rocking and rolling. And then we all got shut down. But that didn't mean that people were going to stop moving. And in fact, our members have had some of their record months during the pandemic because of all the work they've done prior to that, to connect and care and educate their people over the long haul. And when people have to move, life continues to happen. And so the majority of people weren't out buying or selling during this time, but there were still a lot of people that did. And now as we open up, the floodgates are opening. Yeah. People are busier than ever. Agents, now the challenge is, at first it was like, okay, I'm going to build my skills when I'm at home. I'm going to get all my systems in place while I'm at home. Well, now the challenge becomes, oh my gosh, this wheel maybe never could stop spinning right now. And it's, as realtors, we work when people work, we work when people don't work. And so it's real easy to get into that vortex that just never stops. Mm-hmm. So the opportunity is amazing as long as we manage that opportunity so you don't end up a crispy critter.
Which you guys teach so well, right? Your 5 circles, and maybe later on we'll talk a little bit about that. But I just read a thing on NAR, was this morning before I came in. Nationwide, there's an average of 3 offers per property for sale. So we're seeing on our end the struggle of inventory, right? Us personally, we have buyers, we don't have anything to buy, and one of the things we're trying to hope to do with this show is encourage folks. It's okay to put their homes on the market. We have the safety protocols in place to go ahead and do that. But Jerry and I have a bit of a side bet going on.
You should give her the parameters and see where she would put her money.
Yeah, well.
You want me to give her the parameters?
Yeah, I'll let him slide back a little, Jerry give you the parameters.
All right, so he's a very successful realtor, as you know. I'm a real estate investor, and we have this back and forth that we like to have. So the bet is this, Jamie, and we're not going to tell you who's on what side. So I want to see where you're going to
boy.
stack your paper on this bet, okay? So the bet
Okay.
is Q4 2020 in comparison to Q2 2019. And one of us is saying that the fourth quarter of this year, we're going to have 85% or more of the sales volume that we had in Q2 last year. Basically saying the spring market is in the fourth quarter. That's basically what the bet is. So the over-under is at 85% the volume of Q2 last year. And we got a bottle of bourbon on it.
A really expensive.
Really
bottle.
expensive bottle of bourbon.
What kind of
It's
bourbon?
it's a craft distillery in this area, but it's really good. So Jamie, you're a businesswoman and a very smart person. Where would you stack your paper and your bags of money?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Higher than Q2 of 2019.
No.
85%.
85% of it.
85% of Q2.
I even see it a little bit sooner than Q4.
Wow.
Actually,
I agree with that.
mean, it is coming.
Yeah.
I think April was the quiet month,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
And now things are completely ramped up. And you said 3 offers on every property. I'm hearing people with 27,
Sure,
28.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, so you want to get into the bet. She wants to drop some money in here. I'll take double the action. I'm a businessman that's seeing an opportunity here. I will take double the action in a bourbon bottle from the West Coast here.
Oh.
I will take double the action. Does she want to bet me? I will literally FedEx her a bottle of bourbon to the West Coast on that.
So
You have the over. She knows you have the over.
I got the
You're in
over.
game.
He's got the under.
Yeah, she knows you have the
Right.
over.
So hold on. Let's talk.
I was not told anything up front here.
No,
Not at all.
no. We hit this you straight out. You had no idea this was coming.
Yeah,
so-
right.
Sorry, but no, hold it.
Sorry, not sorry. I get it.
Yeah, so so we're now upping the bet now, huh? Is that
Well,
what
I
we're
mean,
doing?
if she wants some action, she did say yes here.
She doesn't
I'm
wanna-
saying I'll take some
Okay,
extra action.
well, let's
I'm
move
a
on.
gambling man.
Let's move on. We don't want to make Jamie feel uncomfortable.
She doesn't.
She's doing great. So just pray for over so I can get the bottle of bourbon. I'll save some.
You got it.
And I'll come out and see and share it with you.
I'll put in a good word.
There you go. Appreciate it. So what are we coaching your members, right? So we all just realize we have a lack of inventory, right? You're the largest coaching company in the world. We have agents watching, and we also have folks that are trying to sell their house. What are you coaching your agents to help to increase their inventory, right? What as a real estate agent I can do to help increase my inventory? Does that make sense?
Well, yes, absolutely. Here's what I would encourage you to do. I think that we're all coming from a different place here, but we're all in the middle of the same kind of storm, right? We're coming out of the storm. So I think it's important that we focus on what we can actually control, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff going on out there that we can't control, and it's very easy to get sucked up into that stuff. And most of it is very negative and not, forward thinking and solution oriented. So the things I can control are my mindset, my attitude, and then my activities, right? So let's talk about those activities. But let's not forget, mindset is crucial because how you think about something actually translates into how you take action. And it's a very interesting thing. So every morning, I begin the day with gratitude. I begin the day thinking about the good and the possibilities and looking at my goals. And that's where I would have people start is what do you want to accomplish this year? There's a massive opportunity out there. Make sure that our mind is right so that we can go out and make great things happen. And an attitude follows right along with that. But what you asked me about was the activities. So the number one thing that we have to be doing right now, we can't sit around and wait for a seller to call us. Our members are being very focused and very proactive in going out there and creating their own inventory. So how do we do that? Number one is connection. Reach out to the people that you know in your database. This is your sphere of influence. These are the business providers and service providers that you work with, that you work together, that you send referrals to. These are everybody that you know, that knows you. We should be connecting now more than ever and showing we care. checking in. How are you doing? I mean, a lot of people have gone through a lot of different crazy things during this time. And if we haven't been picking up that weapon of mass distraction, that what some people call a cell phone, but it's a smart computer, right? If we haven't actually picked that up and made outgoing phone calls to our people, then we are missing out on a massive opportunity just to check in and see if we can help in any way. And I think that is really key to make sure the relationship comes first, and continuing to build and deepen that relationship and show that you care. And then from a real business standpoint, right now, people need education on real estate, right? Because I was sitting outside with my husband the other day. We were having a little, I believe he was having bourbon actually outside on our front stoop, right? I'm more of a red wine girl, so we're having a nice conversation. One of our neighbors walks by, and we start talking, and she said, "I can't tell you how excited I am for this real estate crash that's coming."
Whoa.
And we both stopped, and we're like, what real estate crash are you talking about? She said, "My kids are finally going to get to buy in Southern California. I can't believe it." And we both looked at each other and we're like, we don't want to burst your bubble because we understand how important that is, but that real estate crash is not coming. Our values have not gone down, not one bit. Our values continue to climb. And of course, real estate is a neighborhood business, right? Each neighborhood could be very different than the one next door to it. And so we have to make sure that we're very aware of that, which is why it's so important to have a trusted professional that sells real estate in our corner, right? Because if you go on Zillow, there's no Zestimate for that. The Zestimate is not the accurate, okay? So the point is we have to go out and we have to create inventory to happen. And the way that we do that is to educate our clients on, Keith, you said it a little while ago, how can we help buyers and sellers safely and in a smart way right now? And then when we do have a seller in a neighborhood, then I would reach out to every person in that neighborhood and say, and we just had a client do this we've had several clients do this where they're like, they send out some information to 240 people in the neighborhood saying, your neighbor just listed their home. Here are some of the particulars about that property. Who do you know that might want to live here? And oh, by the way, these are the things that we're doing to safely show the home, to safely sell the home. Did you know that we can virtually sign documents? Did you know that we can have virtual consultations like this? Did you know that we're going to use this technology to our benefit? So we don't have to meet face to face as often necessarily. And people are going out and creating their own inventory in the neighborhoods that their buyers want to live in. They're going to talk to these sellers and say, hey, if you've been thinking about it, here's how we can help you. And we have a buyer for you right now.
Man, I'm feverishly outstanding.
Yeah.
I'm feverishly taking notes to unpack this. But we talked about this yesterday in our pre-show, right? It's amazing. Oh, look at this. This actually works as a phone. Look at that, right? It's not a calculator.
I think it's actually number 10, making calls.
It is
number 10
actually.
on the list of things we do on our phones.
It does. But it's funny. So something that Yonna and I do, and when this pandemic started, we bought these two huge whiteboards. And what we did is we wrote down everybody in our world, right? I mean, these are like 8 foot by 4 foot, two whiteboards. We wrote them all down there and put knocks on, and we divide up every morning and say, you're going to talk to these people, you're going to talk to these people. And we're literally just reaching out and saying, hey, Jamie, how you doing? How's life treating you, right?
Exactly.
How you faring? What can we do? On my phone at 5:30 in the morning, 3 things show up. Be professional, be trustworthy, and be caring. Show you're a pro. Show that people can trust you and care what people have to say. And,
That's right.
This mindset.
Well, and that's what you guys have done for so long, and that's why you've been handsomely rewarded, because
Did she call me handsome?
You've done the good work.
She called me handsome.
I think she said handsomely rewarded.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bad reception. I think I got called handsome.
That's an adverb.
That's an adverb.
That's an adverb.
So there's a little joke, inside joke on the adverb thing. We had a client of mine, right?
No, but those were adjectives.
They were adjectives, yeah.
This is a different term of speech.
Right. So I'm a product of the New York City school system. So all these fancy things like adjectives and verbs. I have no idea what they are. But we had a client, we used to play the adjective game, and she would actually say, I need you to describe, to use an adjective to describe this house. And I'm like, okay.
It's pretty. It's pretty.
What's an adjective?
Let me throw a question to you.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so this question's coming in on the feed, and it's something we talked about this morning as well.
Yeah, sure.
So you have agents watching. I'm sure you've heard, and if you haven't, we had an unfortunate incident with a realtor in Roanoke at an open house in Virginia, and that has led to a call to action for safety at public open houses, and whether the value proposition of public open houses in real time actually has true val prop. So we're now seeing this migration, as you know, to virtual open houses, certainly magnified because of COVID. So how about the virtual versus the in-person open house, compare and contrast, and do you see the in-person open house eventually going the way of the dinosaur extinct?
It's a great question. I would tell you that there are massive benefits to the virtual open house, because it is something that you can schedule it, you can invite a bunch of people to it, you can collect live commentary and gather questions and things like that. You can stage your own rehearsal and then go walk through the home as you see fit to showcase its finer qualities. And then the great thing about it is it's not just 4 hours sitting in someone else's home by yourself some of the time, let's be honest. This is something that has legs. This is something that lives on, and it can be on your website, and it can be on your social media channels, and you can invite more people to it. And I believe it's a much higher and better use of your time than it is to go sit live in a home for 4 hours and then wrap up shop. Do I think it'll fully go away? I'm not sure, because there is a certain magic in face-to-face. So will people be extremely cautious right now for however long? Absolutely. People are handling this coming back out into the world very differently. There are two very drastic sides. And so I think we're blessed in that we do have the technology. It's working brilliantly. As long as you have Wi-Fi and you don't go down into the basement and lose it, like a lot of people have learned, right? You learn as you go. But I think that, again, as long as we manage the technology and we don't let it just do all the work for us, because nothing will ever take the place of face-to-face or voice-to-voice. That is the best way to deepen a connection. It's the best way to deepen a relationship. But the virtual opportunities we have, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you guys without it.
Amen to that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. One more question for you. This is coming from the feed. This one close and near and dear to my heart as the owner of an advertising agency, about the concept of brand. The concept of brand even being magnified even more because of COVID. And by brand, many layers to that onion. You have what we're doing here. You have live streaming. You have content creation across social media, content creation originating on a branded website and then syndicating the URL across social channels. What's the advice and consultation you're offering on brand in a 2020 COVID-19 ecosystem?
Well, I think your brand is how you show up every day. I honestly do. And I believe that, again, that starts with the connection piece. That starts with reaching out to people. That starts with providing value and being of help and education. And doing that on the social media platforms is now more important than ever, because we don't have as much opportunity to be out there in the nitty-gritty, hugging people, shaking their hands. And so now we really have to lean into all the opportunities with technology that we have, as long as we don't let them totally take over. A lot of our clients get really stuck in all the things you could do, and then they don't do anything.
Paralysis of analysis. Yeah, you get overwhelmed by the Chinese food menu, and then you're like, what am I going to order?
Yeah, nothing. I'm leaving because I just can't. And that's really important to think about. So I would start with one thing. If you're not a technological person, and a lot of realtors just aren't, and a lot of them are. So again, two sides to the coin there. But if it's not something you're natural at, it's not something that, I know the video is a big deal for people. Most people don't want to see themselves and they won't do it. But that market update right now by video is one of the greatest things you could do to connect with and educate your clients, right? And say, this is what's actually happening. Whatever you're watching on the news, we have no idea what that is, but it's probably opinion more than it is fact, depending on what you're watching. So if you're overwhelmed with technology, choose one thing and let's go about doing that to the best that you can before you add on other things. But don't forget the connection, the relationship, the phone call. Now more than ever, it trumps everything else.
That's good advice right there.
So, and I'm thumbing through the NAR 2020 generational report, right? And it's amazing. You know who really is craving for face-to-face communication or actual voice communication? You know what the number one demographic is? Millennials.
Yes.
Huge.
Millennials.
Yeah.
They're 80-something% of the market, or excuse me, 38% of the market at this point. Yep. We love working with millennials, and I found that they'll start their process on this. And I was just reading like 87%. Hold on a second. Excuse me, 98%. They're going to see their first house online. So what they're going to do is they're going to look on their Zillow, they're going to look on their Realtor, they're going to look on our websites, and then it's amazing. They call us, they actually make a phone call, and they say, I'm going to put my phone down. I need you to tell me what to do. I need a trusted advisor. And the millennial is really getting in front of that, and so we're super excited about that. But you're 100% right. They're craving for trusted advisors. It used to be the first viewing was online. It's probably 3 times now before they actually pick up the phone and go. I mean, that's what we're seeing on our end. But there's this magic point. And are you seeing that with some of your other agents and working with millennials, that they really are craving this one-on-one attention?
I love it. We talk about millennials like they're from a different
We're
planet.
unicorns. We're unicorns.
And they're human beings.
Thank you.
And we crave connection, all of us. All of us crave connection. And then right now, with all this uncertainty, all this instability, people want to know that they can trust and believe in the people that they're working with, the people that are helping them. It's not like the lowest common denominator anymore. It's not like, well, whoever can do it cheapest for me right now. It's the professional wins the day right now. And that's also the relationship piece. If we can show them that we have their best interest at heart, if we can show them our character and our competence on a regular basis, they want the connection. They want the care. They need the help. We all need the help when it comes to something that we're not in every day, like you and I, Keith.
So I've been doing this since 87, Michael 82, and I have found, particularly in the last couple of years, and particularly since COVID-19, the complications of getting a transaction done, right? From the point of, I tell clients all the time, I tell folks, like, you know what the easiest thing in the world for me to do is? Actually write the deal. That's easy. Right, negotiate, write the deal. I mean, it sounds flippant, but it's true. That's the easy part. The hard part is to get it from there to here. So we have 4 or 5 closings happening this week, and my lovely wife is up in Connecticut.
Working
with our grandson.
Oh, you're working.
And we talk about that. Yona's my better 7/8, right? So now all of a sudden, oh, shucks, I got to actually do all this. And we have a client care coordinator, and she's awesome, Justine. But these things are falling apart, and they're not falling apart. They're
malleable.
They're getting squirrely, right?
Malleable.
Yes.
And there's little things like, a chip on the paint. It's just this little stuff. But we're managing it because we're professionals. All our clients, they're all millennials, by the way, trust us, and we show that we care. I was on the phone to 10 o'clock at night with one of them. So.
Right. Well, you also have systems in place that they've now come to appreciate. Sure. As realtors, as entrepreneurs, sometimes systems are not our strong point. Let's be honest, right? We like people and we love houses, or we love marketing or whatever it is, but we're not exactly great at the organizational piece, at the systems piece. And that's another place that Buffini and Company really comes alongside of all of our clients to really help them bring calm to that possible chaos in our real estate lives. And you're right. Every real estate deal these days is like the Poseidon Adventure. Sure. If you do not have a professional on your side to walk you through and to navigate those rough waters, there is no easy closing anymore, ever. They're double checking what they're double checking. There's a million different I's to dot and T's to cross, more than there ever has been. And people are squirrely. People are...
Well, that's exactly what it is.
They're uncertain. Uncertain.
Well, we talk about this on the show all the time. We started a little early. When are people going to put houses back on the market? And people their confidence just has to get built up.
Consumer confidence.
Right, consumer confidence. Right, and we're starting to see those trends come up, which is good.
Yep. Yes, but we can also help.
That's exactly right.
With the education process, because just like the lady walking by my door the other day, expecting the real estate crash so her kids can get in the market. I mean, people do not really understand our business unless they're in it. And that's been that way for forever. They think that they do, but at the end of the day, they really don't. And it's up to us to show them how it works. And especially right now, to show them about our values, to show them that we have buyers for their neighborhood. And educate every step of the way. And then during that process, that transaction, man, it's a game changer when you have a professional.
So I'm smiling underneath this mask.
I can see it. I can
You're
see
smiling
it
with your eyes, Keith.
Because
I wasn't sure. I didn't know I should wear my mask.
I think you're okay, Jamie.
I think you're okay. I think we're a little bit more than 6 feet. I think we are.
Unless that dog next to you is in trouble over there.
Yeah.
That's right. Occasionally, he likes to show up on camera.
It's great, though. So to play off of that a little bit, so I'm the son, grandson, great grandson of New York City firemen. All my family lived down here, and we're half Italian, half Irish, and we have these big family things. So we had a Father's Day thing, very social distance. Everything we planned it out smartly. But I'm having a cup of tea with my mother. And she leans over and she goes, "What do you actually do?" And I went, "What do you mean, what do I actually do?" And I'm like, "Okay, Mom, let me explain to you what I do." And she goes, "Okay, but what do you do on this thing on Tuesdays and Fridays?" And my mother's they're up there in
talk show. She's asking.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She's
how old is she?
I'm gonna get. I will never. My mother is 35 years old.
Okay.
My mother is always 35 years old.
Does she watch you?
She does now. We taught her how to do it, so she's watching.
Okay,
she's probably watching live now.
Good. Can I ask, Jamie? I got a question for you. We got some agents with questions here, wanting some macro trends that may apply to our market. What are you seeing? What are you following trend-wise that could eventually trickle down to a smaller market to the grassroots level, like here in Virginia?
What is trending right now is just the robust real estate opportunities, and they're going to come from a lot of different places. We're gonna see them come from, everybody's been sheltered in place, so they've realized they can't live in the space that they've been in, so they want to move. Or there's going to be a lot of renovations happening, and hopefully they're getting their homes ready for sale in the next couple of years. There's going to be a lot of shuffling of the deck. People are moving where they've wanted to move for a while, but they were waiting. There's also going to be opportunities with the small businesses, unfortunately, that didn't make it. With the Airbnb people that may not want to hold on to those investments anymore because of the cost to clean them the way that it's going to need to happen. So, apartments, all these things kind of come together and can be a tremendous opportunity for everyone if we're getting out there and meeting people and saying hello from a distance, or at least offering great value education by way of social media too. So robust in every market right now.
Two-part question for you from the feed. Do you see this push to suburbia from urban centers? And then the second part of the question, if that actually is going to happen, and we're seeing that in the tea leaves, the second part of the question is, how much opportunity then is created in the urban environment for getting something at 25, 30% off a discounted price? Your thoughts on those topics?
Oh, well, I agree that people are wanting a little more space, for sure. I mean, we have a big backyard here and everything, and we've even thought, a couple acres would be nice, which is tough to come by in Southern California. Yeah, so any little piece that you get here is a great piece, right? But as far as values going down in the city,
you don't see it?
I don't know if, I wouldn't count on that. Yeah. No, I think it would be easy to say that. I don't think that's coming.
What do you think, Keith?
Well, there's just too much pent up demand.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's just not.
We were seeing in our local market for every, well, we just talked about that. For every purchase, there was 3 contracts. I think around here is 2 or somewhere along those lines.
So you're basically saying if something comes up in the city, it's going to go.
Absolutely.
Even if people want to push to the suburbs, there's not enough inventory out there.
Look,
so it's just a supply and demand.
We talked about this all the time on the show. Real estate market's 5 things, right?
Yeah.
What we call the 5 R's. Right location, right price, right features, right conditions, and I added a 5th one, which is time.
Right time.
Right time.
Right time. Right time.
Right time, which is timing, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the NAR report we're talking about for the generational. So this is 2020, which means it actually was June 2018 to July 2019. Between 22 and 39 year age, 53% of the folks moved into suburban subdivisions.
Sure.
Only 14% went into the urban. And the year before, because I remember the number, which would have been, let me see, June 18 to July 19 was 48%. So that number's growing. This COVID is just going to explode, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's always going to be a contingent of people that want walkability. Sure. They want to be close to where they're working if they're working there. And so it's certainly not going to be a loss of values where you can get a smoking deal in the city.
COVID-19 has made the value prop of home ownership more important than ever. I mean, our home is our office. It's our escape from COVID. It's where we quarantine. It's where we try to maintain sanity with our kid and our wife and our German shepherds, and that's not always easy. It's made the home more important than ever. I mean, now if there's ever a time, it's buy a home now. Put your home on the market now, right? I mean, what do you think, Jamie?
Do what you want to do. I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking. Our home is our safe place. It's our environment. You have control over your environment. Right. And if you're renting,
you don't.
That's scary because you have no control, and the owner can decide, hey, gosh, I got to sell this thing. You got to get out. The rents keep climbing. That's not going to shift and change anytime soon because of the low inventory. So our home, whoever said the home was the castle, man, they were right on. And the beautiful thing about being a real estate professional is we have the opportunity to help people with that every single day.
So we're actually
to help them get in, move up, move down, go to where they want to go. It's a grand opportunity. But yes, this whole thing has shown us how important our environment is. And the joke throughout our industry was, could you see yourself quarantined here? It's a good question.
That's a great question. You're killing this interview. She's phenomenal on camera.
Well, and
phenomenal on camera.
And thank you. We're over time, so but we're going to keep on going if it's okay with you.
Yeah, I have a few more minutes.
Okay, cool. So we're actually going to get ready to do a series of shows in July, basically talking about renting. Why rent when you can own, right? And you touched a little bit on that, and we just did a contract yesterday, actually.
Tell her the rental prices are essentially the mortgage prices here in this market.
Yeah. So the process happened is this particular client was getting super frustrated because we lost 15 deals. Right? We couldn't. It was like a 15-to-1 ratio. We just couldn't get a contract put in, and we had a heart-to-heart, and they said, look, I'm just going to rent. I said, well, hold it, time out. Let's do some math, right? Let's do some math. And I brought in, a trusted advisor, an actual loan officer, and we actually crunched numbers and put in our, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, in this case, a homeowners association. And we said, that's your number. That's what the rent is.
And how did it compare? Was it the same?
No, it was low.
It was less?
Oh, yeah,
Right.
well,
For Charlottesville, yeah.
it's, at 3%,
Yeah. Right.
when
Mine go up 4.75% every year. My rents go up 4 3/4 every year.
So Jerry owns commercial property and he raises.
No matter what, 4 3/4.
You heartless person, you.
That's not heartless. That's lower than market. That is lower than market.
I'm just teasing.
Okay, that's lower than market.
She doesn't want to see Batman and Robin. So,
But once again, Keith, you educated
Sure.
the client. Yeah. They don't know. They think the rent is going to be cheaper. Right. And there is a mental block sometimes for people of, oh my gosh, that's quite a commitment. I don't know if I can make that commitment. But if you're willing to buy real estate and hold
sure.
it, even for just a little while, you're going to win.
So I did the math for him. This particular place where it was, I went back 20 years. It's about a 4% year-over-year increase. It's a no-brainer, right? And there were some personal things involved in it with kids and stuff like this, but that's what we did. So we talked about this all during the show. It was a millennial, right? I put this down. Damn millennials. No, we love you millennials. We love you guys. But we had a heart-to-heart. We were the trusted advisor, and they said, ultimately they said the best words that I've heard all day yesterday. We trust you.
That's awesome.
Right? Okay, great. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I will make sure
That's right.
you do not run into a brick wall. So
that's right.
We're a little over. There's a bunch of notes I wanted to get to. One of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about, and you guys talk about this so much at Buffini, is mindset. Right? It is so important. I'm a Marine, so that's kind of how that, jarhead mentality, straight ahead kind of thing. But if you can just talk a little bit about mindset to wrap up, right? That is so important to be. And the reason I approach that is the people that we're talking about this COVID-19, some are just so fearful that they won't get out underneath from the table, and some are okay.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about mindset, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I started with that at the beginning. There's a reason, there's an order of things, and our mindset is crucial, and our mindset is under attack every single day in regards to whatever's coming at us, the media, the email, the emails that are coming in, all of the stuff that barrages us or has the ability to barrage us impacts how we think about things, how we see things. And we've all experienced this. You could be having a beautiful day and then you turn on the news and 10 minutes later you feel doom and gloom and oh my gosh, everything is going to heck in a handbasket. This is a family show, so I want to keep it good, right?
Actually, there is no FCC rules here, so you can do whatever you want.
Well, I'll tell you.
We'll let that one go, huh?
I'll keep it the family show. So our mindset is key, and we have control over it. And a lot of times it doesn't feel like you do, but we have to take that control. So for me, that's every morning I get up, first thing, I start with gratitude. First thing. Now, some days that's harder than others, depending on what you have going on in your life. I know there are many, many, many challenges out there with friends, family members, sickness, the world and everything that's happening. And it's real easy to go to a negative place. And so I choose how I'm going to start and navigate my day because it's going to give me more capacity to handle what comes my way. But I also have boundaries around my mindset where I don't tune into the news. It's very rare. I tune in for a couple minutes on places that I trust. I get the information I need and I'm off. Because what I've learned is after a while, it gets negative, it gets nasty. My mindset follows that. And so we have control over the mindset as long as we don't give it away. If we start with gratitude and if we put good stuff in, I call it a mental diet. So what are you watching? What are you listening to? Who are you spending your time with? Who are you talking to? What kind of outlook do they all? It is crucial to choose wisely and not just let whatever comes our way come our way. Be very protective of, again, the environment around us is key. And we do have control over it. You don't have to get every notification that comes in on your phone. I've turned all the notifications off. Take a news break if you feel yourself going down into a negative place. I promise you, if there's something you need to know, somebody will tell you. So it's just it's a choice to make sure that we're doing our best to create a good mindset so that we will go out and take action, and we will go out and connect and care for people. Because if you watch the news too much, it's real easy to curl up into a ball and just stay exactly where you are and never grow and never develop and never reach out and help other people. And that's not what we're here for.
So I think the great things about this show and the reason it's been so successful is its long format.
That's
right.
It's long.
It's real. It's format. We asked you for half an hour. We're substantially beyond that. So thank you. But as I was smiling because I'm getting pictures of my grandson on the phone as you're talking to me.
Yes.
But I want to give a shout out to both my daughters. I have a 26-year-old daughter in Seattle, and I have a 34-year-old daughter that lives in Connecticut. And this whole conversation you just had, they never watch the news, right? They disengage, and they're just happy. And you could not ask of, two of the most, pretty much Seattle was the beginning of this, right? And the New York City area is still pretty much big time into this.
Right.
And they just refuse to do that. They refuse to stay positive. And one of the things that I send out all the time is, be well, stay safe, and stay positive. So your positivity, I wish we could do this for about another hour, but Jerry has another show, and I'm going to get kicked out of here pretty quickly.
I think she's got a busy day, too.
She has a busy day.
Yeah.
We got great stuff to do.
We got deals
ahead,
to make, Jamie.
So this was like,
absolutely.
This was like falling off a log. Anytime you feel the urge to talk to a bunch of folks live on the East Coast, you are welcome anytime. But thank you, and give Brian a little peck on the cheek for me when you see him.
I will do that from a distance.
From a distance, there you go.
I will send that out. I will send that his way. And again, I am very grateful to be here with y'all. I'm sending out love and light to everybody. Let's just go focus on what we can control and go make good stuff happen.
Whoever was watching this, when I started it off, I said the three things: faith in God, Yonna and I, Michael Guthrie, and Brian Buffini. After listening,
Jamie,
if you don't believe that, if you don't believe that Buffini and Company can help you, then we didn't do our job today.
I think we can. Jamie, you crushed it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Jamie. You have a good one.
Thanks,
Take
Jerry.
care.
See you.
Good to see you guys, too.
Thank you.
She was fantastic. I love that interview.
Yeah, she's a rock star, and it's a big-time speaker. She speaks before many thousands and thousands of people, and just does a great job. I actually was trying to text my daughter to see if she can Skype in so we can spend a little time with our grandson. And any comments on the feed that we can attack?
Yeah,
we can talk about.
We got a lot of comments here.
Are we good on time?
We got a couple minutes.
There you go.
I got an 11:45 call here.
Oh,
that I got to prepare for. So here, what are you watching nationally? What are you watching that could come down to this market? You saw the story because we text back and forth about potentially 70,000 new people falling behind on their mortgage.
Yeah,
that was a national story. I'm watching building permits.
Yep.
Are you watching building permits?
I do every day.
Okay. Building permits aren't going in the direction we want.
That is true.
That's fair.
But that's a lack of inventory.
That's a lack of inventory.
Not because of sales.
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. Building permits do create inventory.
Well, they do, but generally, like the major national, regional builders, they're scrambling for inventory, for lot inventory. That's the real issue. It's not
no land.
There's no land, It's not a lack of buyers, that's for sure.
There's no land. So what are you watching? What are you watching nationally coming down here as we talk about the market?
So I think what's going to affect, and I may this may be right, this may be wrong. I see this exodus out of the tri-state area going to have a huge impact down here.
Huge impact.
Yeah. And I think, it's going to put pressure on an already zero inventory or a lack of inventory.
Someone in our neighborhood, and you actually had this experience this as well. Someone in our neighborhood, sight unseen.
Yeah.
All cash purchase.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Never stepped foot in the house.
Yeah. So one of my...
Outside Philadelphia.
There you go. So I think once the comfort level gets up, but this ratio, and we were talking about this on the show before, there's basically tracking the numbers, local numbers.
Yeah.
For every one house, every one house that comes on the market, 2 are sold. So that
every one goes on the market, 2 are sold.
Correct.
That's unhealthy.
That is unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's, you want what do you want, a 3-to-1 on the other way?
No, you want the other way. You
Yeah,
want
you want it the other way.
You want the 1-to-1, right? So
You want it even?
Yeah, you want it even.
You wouldn't even want more coming on the market for each one sold?
So this is a really balancing act, right? Because, you get to this point, but we're like the median average days on market is less than 30 days, and we've all agreed somewhere between 4 and 6.
Is it healthy?
No, it's a seller's market, right? So once you start going over that, it becomes neutral, and then it becomes a buyer's market. So clearly we're in a seller's market perspective. But it's all location, and Jamie was talking about that, right? So, there's, I call them micro locations. We can say, the region as a location, but certain areas do a little bit better, certain price points do a little bit better on that stuff. But yeah, so, we're trying our best here to spread the word and get some good positives going out. Thank you for bringing up the open house thing and the safety thing.
How do you feel about that? You got a lot of your colleagues watching.
Yeah, so I think that we're not going to see as many open houses as we have in the past.
Definitely.
I think there's going to be a while before it happens. I think, Carr's official position is this is not the right time. And the safety thing is huge, and we're going to be talking about that in future shows about, how to stay safe. When you're out there doing this.
A guy like you would kill it at an open house. A lady like Yonna would kill it at an open house. Likable people talk with anybody.
Yeah.
You're good in face-to-face.
Thank you. I love face-to-face.
You love face-to-face.
But this is a great thing. I mean, we had an opportunity to talk to an awesome person halfway around on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to personally engage, right?
Yeah, you do.
But we need to do it safely. We need to do it smartly. But I think you're going to see the game stepping up from a digital perspective. It's already doing it. And I think you're going to see these digital open houses, for lack of a better term. Then they're going to generate phone calls. Then they're going to say, okay.
Then we do a walkthrough.
We do a walkthrough.
One-on-one. Not a ton of people.
Yeah.
Very safe environment.
I think so, yeah. That's how we're leaning towards it.
I think you're right. I think you're right. What else has been magnified, do you think?
Oh, man. Because of COVID?
Yeah. You've been all over it today. You've killed it today.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so, I think everything Jamie talked about, we as an industry, I think, got in front of this thing very fast.
You guys did. You were leaders.
We got in front of this really fast, created the systems, created a thing. These closings we have coming on this week, they're all done remotely, or they're doing with POAs, power of attorneys, or if they're one-on-ones, it's done extremely safely, and it's working, right?
Yep.
So, I don't think we're going to stay where we are right now as far as doing business, but I don't think we're going to go back to where it was. I don't think everybody's going to say, okay, it's done. Now we're going to go back here. It'll be somewhere in the middle, right? Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And
well said. I think you're right. I think you're right. We got a video ready to go.
We do.
You also want to give maybe a snapshot on some of the themes for July.
Yeah, so we talked about it earlier. I'm going to talk a little bit about rent versus own, so people understand that. This video we're going to show is about the importance of pricing your house right. So we're going to talk about that from bring some experts in on how to price your house, and we're going to bring in some staging experts how to get your house ready.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah,
July's going to be a good month.
Well, we're talking about this now, right? Because it's not
It's time.
Well,
and you want to win a bet.
Excuse me?
You want to win a
Oh
bet.
man, I am spending so much time and money to win a bottle of
You
bourbon.
want to win a bet. Well, Michael Guthrie's.
We're not competitive by any
We're
stretch of
so
the imagination.
Two,
Yeah.
Two alpha guys that like to talk and BS spend 2 hours a week
We got
with
cameras?
each other on cameras and microphones with people watching them. That's pretty much what's happening here.
Is that what this is?
This is what
We got cameras on?
we have cameras on.
I didn't know
I
that.
forget them too. Your guest Jamie was amazing.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
I am so honored and blessed that she. Just think about that. We tested her at 9:45, so that is what
When we
6:40.
test Skyped her?
Yeah,
Yeah, we test Skyped her at 10 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock her time. And she was ready to go.
she was ready to go.
Yeah,
so
ready to
that
go. I felt like Jamie just closed 2 deals.
she did.
And then joined us on the show.
I think that's what exactly
I mean,
she
the
did.
adrenaline was pumping with her.
But so I'm so thankful and grateful that she thinks that much of us to wake up at dark 30.
Testament to you and Mike.
Well, yeah, thank you. So we're excited about next month, August. We're going to have some neat stuff coming up. So we're pumped. We're looking forward to it.
Caitlin Mancini says, great show. Thank you guys for watching today's program. The show airs Tuesdays and Fridays on the I Love CVille Network, powered by the phenomenal,
Oh, what are you going to adjectives? We're doing
you
adjectives.
want me to, I was going to rattle off like 15 adjectives
No,
to
don't do
describe
it.
you.
You're over the time. Let's
I
go.
like
Come on.
hanging out with you.
Let's go. Come on.
I like hanging out
We
with
got
you.
work to do. Come on.
I actually really enjoy hanging out with Keith Smith. Judah, let's give Judah some. We got to get Judah.
Oh, we didn't get Judah on.
Yeah, we haven't gotten Judah on.
Everybody-
Judah, can you go to you? We need to get your face on TV, Judah. Judah, get the microphone in front of you.
So Judah, how do you think this went today? You think that was a good interview?
Oh, that was a great interview. She just had so much great information to impart, and you pick better and better guests every week.
Okay, let's test Judah. You ready?
Oh.
You ready for a test? All right, Judah, what is one thing you learned from Jamie today?
Ooh.
Oh man, come on. I'm busy.
He's trying to direct.
Okay, I'm just checking. Keith Smith is bringing world-renowned speakers to our set. We should keep our minds open to learn.
So what Judah learned was to shut the heck up and let me do my job, guys.
Right. That's what he said. And we need to say this. Judah keeps he and I in line.
Oh, yeah.
This is the easy job. What we
Without
do.
a doubt.
This is the easy job.
This is easy.
He has the hard
Without
job.
doubt.
Should we go to the video?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Have a great day, guys. Great weekend.
Have a great. Can we?
Yeah, sure.
All right, love this guy. Yes, Team Realtors, Keith and Yonna Smith, trusted advisors in the game. This is a snapshot on what you can expect for July on Real Talk, guys. Judah in 3, 2, 1.